In this short webinar, we're going to be looking at the case of Riedvig versus HCC and others, which has gained attention as one of the first reported decisions to examine the interaction between two significant pieces of legislation: the Civil Liability Contribution Act, 1978, and the Third Parties Rights Against Insurers Act, 2010. At the heart of this case was the question of whether a professional indemnity insurer's liability to a claimant under the 2010 Act could be considered the same damage as that for which the insurer sought a contribution under the 1978 Act from a third party. The court's decision offers an important insight into the interplay of these legal provisions, especially in scenarios involving the insolvency of a party and the rights of third parties to claim directly from an insurer in those circumstances. So, what are you going to learn today? Well, in this session, we'll be covering the application of the Third Parties Rights Against Insurers Act 2010 Act, an overview of the Civil Liability Contribution Act 1978, the 1978 Act, a summary of the facts of Riedvig and HCC and others, the High Court decision and how the court interpreted the interaction between the 2010 Act and the 1978 Act, and insurers' rights of subrogation as an option instead of contribution. So the Third Parties Rights Against Insurers Act 2010. By way of background, this Act, the 2010 Act, came into force following reform of the earlier Third Party Rights Against Insurers Act 1930, the 1930 Act. The intention of the 1930 Act was that a third party should be entitled to recover from an insured's liability insurers in the event the insured becomes insolvent. The 2010 Act removed some of the procedural obstacles faced by those wishing to claim under the 1930 Act. In particular, it is designed to make it easier for third parties to claim directly against the insurer of an insolvent company or individual, if that company or individual has the required liability insurance in place. The 2010 Act works to automatically transfer the rights of the insured under the insurance policy to the third party in respect of losses caused by the insured. It allows third parties to pursue their claims in a single set of legal proceedings. The third party can issue proceedings against the insurer to both establish the insured's liability to the third party and the potential liability of the insurer to pay out under the insured's policy of insurance.